everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Urban Tropical, and today is going to be another amazing tropical plant, Dicksonia Antarctica. I absolutely love this plant. Actually, I wanted it last year, but I wasn't sure where I will put it because I have literally no space in the garden. And then I just came up with a few ideas where I can plant it and just shuffle some borders around, but we'll get to that, how to plant. I'm just going to talk briefly about Dicksonia, this magnificent plant. I wanted to really order a 5-foot because they grow so slow. You have to wait 10 years for it to grow a foot. That's how slow they grow. But 5-foot were out of stock, and then I was only left with a 3-foot, but I'm actually really happy with the size, and I'm going to put them in the raised bed. That gives me extra advantage of the height as well, so they're not gonna go into the ground, actually sit in the raised beds. I have to really decide. Normally recommended is 1/4 or 1/5 of the total height to go into the ground, because they need to be stable, because they have no roots at the bottom yet. It takes good a year for them to develop strong roots, and these ones are actually old fronds and they have turned into fibrous roots, so it's all rooting system now here, but we need roots at the bottom so it can anchor into the ground. This is the crown from where all the fronds will come out. As you can see, here is 1, 2, 3, maybe actually this one has a 4 or 5. This one I inspected earlier, it has 2 or 3, so let's see how many it will come up with really. The only problem with the Dicksonias is that they love water, so you have to be keen on watering, or you need to have some kind of irrigation system in place. I don't have any of that yet, so I do need to figure that out. They are fantastic for full sun and for part shade as well. If you plant them in full sun, that means you have to water a lot, and if you part them in part shade, that means you can reduce your watering. The thing with the Dicksonia is that they don't need water at the bottom here. They need all this to be moist continuously. So if you can set up a drip system, and you will be using far less water, but it will be a lot more effective comparing to a can. So when I'm going to water this with a watering can, I think good 90% of the water is just gonna go on to the floor, and only 10% will be absorbed, because it's you know, just the way the structure is, water just gonna go down. And if you have a drip system, it makes your life a lot easier. I will try to figure out how I can do it without fitting a drip system, because I haven't looked into that yet. I always water my plants with hose, and especially with the watering can, because I have got rainwater and I try to use most of that so we can save water. So this one has a bit dent here as well, and I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not concerned at all, because it's still going to grow more fronds here. And in terms of location, I was really struggling where I'm going to put them, but I really wanted them, and I said I'll figure out later where I'm going to put them. And then I was thinking, oh my god, it's here and I still don't know where I'm going to put them. So I have decided to redesign some of my raised beds, and so that I can solve that problem, and I'm going to show you that now. So if you can see ahead, I have got raised borders where I need to put the Dicksonias in, and the one I am thinking is around here, so I have to do some digging up here, and the other one I'm thinking is around where this house is. And all the other plants here don't have a strong rooting system other than boxes, so I might remove one of the boxes, and I will plant more narrow root plants here, so that they don't fight for the space underneath. And I'm planning to use a lot of topsoil as well, along with horse manure, because compost is really lightweight, and I am looking for heavy base so that my Dicksonia's trunk doesn't move. So I'm going to dig here and on the same side. As you can see, this is morning around 9-10 o'clock, and it doesn't really get much sun, so it will start to get sun maybe around from 3 o'clock onwards. So it gets afternoon sun, but not intense one in this area, because it's shaded by these lovely bamboos. Hey guys, so I have just dug up this house stump, and now you can see how many roots are just in the ground. So I don't have enough space actually to plant Dicksonia. So what if I show you, I just have this much space here, but there is so much competition from this Nandina domesta something, I think. So this one is evergreen. It gives beautiful berries, especially red ones in winter. All the way, actually you get them in summer, they look so stunning even in winter. I think I'm getting away from the topic here. So I'm thinking I need to remove this one too, because if I show you here, it's so many roots, and I really want a good decent space, and I don't want to compromise in case my Dicksonia doesn't do well, because I was just didn't want to dig this one of the boxes up. So that's my next task, just to dig this one up. See the crunching through the roots. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, so strong. Oh, see. Oh. So now you can see how much space I am really making for this Dicksonia. I'm just going to put this on the side. Okay. Now it's looking good, and I have got so much space, so I'm just going to give this a good shovel and add topsoil and horse manure and just make a decent space. I still have a bit of a problem with this one, because I know this one will be touching the trunk of Dicksonia. I might trim this one, or I might just pull it back. I have to look into that as well, but I just need to make this a priority first, so I can at least plant one of Dicksonias today. Just going to give it a good shovel, just making sure if there are any roots I can get rid of them. Actually, I do have a lot of bulbs here which I plant for summer, and actually they come every year, so I think I have killed most of them here. But they are quite cheap to buy anyway, and I can't look for them and try to save everything. So I'm just going to get on with planting Dicksonia. So this one I have used actually originally really good compost. So if you make raised beds, I put quite old junky, any free soil, garden soil I can get, I put that right at the bottom, and the top half I use really good quality, because that's where root will start to establish. This much as just to give you an idea how much competition you can have in a raised bed, because this is all the space they can have, and roots are coming from left and right everywhere, roots. So I have actually dug up quite a lot, and I'm thinking it's good enough for me to bring the trunk, and let's see how it looks here. And I'm planning to not put any big thing here. I will try to put anything with the shallow roots, so that there is less competition. I might do caladiums, actually they don't take a lot of space. I'm just going to move on to the next step now. Okay, so actually it was so heavy for me to lift. I asked my husband if he could lift it up and just put it here, so he had. So first I had it a bit deeper down, and it still looked quite stable, but then I am being so stingy, I want a bit more height, so I have put not that much deep. I mean, the only trouble is if there is a really heavy storm, it can fall, and that's what I have to really consider. So it's really personal choice. Do you want to be really safe and put it quite deep down, or you want to keep the height and then try to secure it? So I might try to put heavy things around it. I really have to figure that out. That's my next quest. So I'm just going to show you how much I'm going to put in. So that's where it is, and that's where going to be the edge. So that's how much you will be in. I still think it's quite a decent size. It looks like around 20 centimeter down. I think it's quite generous, but let's see how stable it feels. So I have got horse manure here, and I have got a bag of topsoil here. So normally we don't really use topsoil in raised beds, because you need aeration, and compost is quite light and airy, and you can add horse manure. Because I want it to be heavier, I am going to go ahead with using just topsoil, and once the roots has established, I am just going to give a good poke to the topsoil maybe later in the year, and just start to add a bit more compost as well, and maybe add a bit more pumice if I want more aeration. That's the later things. I have got good drainage at the bottom, so I don't have to worry about it. I have got a lot of gravel at the bottom and it's a concrete base, so I really hope it goes all well. So let's fill this up now. So the watering is, we have to do so slowly because most of it's just gonna go onto the ground, and the trunk won't be that much moist, and the whole aim is for the trunk to be moist. So I'm trying to be super slow here. In peak summer, it will take a few of these cans because it needs a lot of water. The more water you will give, the thicker the trunk you will get and the better the foliage. Of course, feed. We need to talk about feed too, which I will be ordering soon. Actually, I was contemplating, shall I get a special Fern feed or just to give it more generic feed. I have just used 10 liter, and I do not think even a liter was here has been absorbed by the trunk. It's pretty much down. So that's why how you water is extremely important. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that it was helpful, and in the end I have just used hose to drench it completely because I was just kind of wasting time, I think, with the watering can, and I don't know why even I did that. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking if you have, and please do leave your comments if there are any, and thank you again. Bye bye.